Hey, what's up guys? Alan here with EatSleepTrade.net. Going to be bringing you guys the swing trading watch list and market update for the week of October 24th, 2016. Not a whole lot to report here in the market. We're kind of in the same boat that we were in. We've lost our trend line. We've lost some moving averages. We can't get above a set of lower highs. So things are definitely not looking up for the S&P 500, but we will get a little bit more in depth in a second here as we take a look at that. And right before we take a look at all the stocks we're going to have on our top watch going into next week. So if you guys appreciate these videos, please do me the favor, hit the like button down below, and don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys are looking to trade into this week and what you got on your watch list. Alright guys, first up, let's go ahead and talk about the S&P 500, and as you guys can see from the chart, not a whole lot has changed. We've still managed to hold up this 2125 support area, so that's going to be a major support area to watch. We snapped that. We got a good chance at heading back down to that 2100 range. We still have been unable to get any type of move up towards or above our set of lower highs in this now becoming stronger resistance area. We've lost our trend line. Our moving averages are trending in the wrong direction. There tends to be more selling volume than buying volume. So right now everything in the S&P 500 leads to a weaker market, a more bearish sentiment. And that's how you gotta trade the market. Is you don't want to be going and buying every breakout when there's no strength behind the market to push those breakouts and let those breakouts hold on to their gains. So a couple things we're going to note here. Down here on the relative strength index, I believe when we're in a weaker market, the relative strength index can really help you to see just that relative strength. And when there's not an overall strong market, you got to go wherever the relative strength is. And if you guys look down here on the relative strength, you can see the little chart or little trend line that I drew, and I think that's going to be a pretty important trend line right here. And essentially what we're showing on the RSI, if the relative strength holds the current weak trend or downtrend that it's in, this is going to be a short opportunity in the markets, and we should technically see some selling pressure going into next week. And that's exactly what I think we're going to see. Of course, I could be completely wrong. Who knows? Something crazy could happen and the market goes the opposite way. But the signs right now are telling us, be careful right now and just keep your risk tight, trade less, just try to find those perfect opportune setups for yourself. Even me, myself, I find that I overtrade in these weaker markets. And, even I see my account slowly start to dwindle down a little bit off of its highs because, I'm overtrading in these weak markets and, putting myself at that risk. So keep your positions small, keep that risk tight, do not overextend yourself, and understand that most of the things that were working for the last 6 to 8 months are not going to work right now. And it's not because you forgot how to trade, it's just because the market is in a different spot right now than what it was for the last 6 to 8 months. Alright guys, so let's look at some of the stocks that we want to have on our top watch going into next week. And the first one is going to be AKS, and it just recently broke out of this little wedge that you can see here and is now breaking up above its prior high, which is an indication that we're putting in higher lows, higher highs. We could see a trend of this change and it start to go back into an upward direction. If you notice again, the RSI would technically be trending in an upward direction now. So we're not trying to necessarily buy through this breakout, but if we get a nice push higher, create that higher high that we're looking for, we should be able to pull back down around to that 515 area, maybe a little bit above, maybe a little bit below, and that RSI will dip back down and test that trend line like we just showed you on the S&P 500. And that will give you some buying opportunity and assure yourself that you're trading on the right side of the trend. So going to be watching this for continuation a little bit higher into next week to put in that higher high and maybe a pullback opportunity on that. Next, let's go and take a look at the ALJ. Now this was on watch last week as well for a possible pullback to the trend line to hold this trend. As you can see, not a whole lot of action last week, pretty tight range, not too much volume, but it is, however, still holding that trend as well as that 50-day moving average. So just going to watch. You can see the volume, slight little uptick in volume there, which could signal a little bit of buying coming off that trend line. So we're going to watch to see if it holds. If it does hold, that's going to set us back up for a move back over $9. Let's take a look at AMD. Pretty big story right now. Everybody talking about the earnings that it just put in. It beats its expectations and has higher than expected earnings, yet the stock gaps down, sells off after hours, and everybody anticipates buy into the pre-earnings breakout because good earnings means big breakout. Unfortunately, it just doesn't always work that way, and trading into earnings is always a 50-50 gamble. However, we did go ahead and get long on Friday into AMD. I think they're just trying to maybe clear everybody out before they let this thing rip higher. 718, 720, this area here is going to be a pretty strong resistance that we're unable to get above. And again, we have some strong support down just below around 650. If we snap below 650, that's going to be my exit. I'm only risking an 8 cent on that risk right now, so super tight risk. And the chances are higher that I get stopped out and maybe miss the next breakout or move. But in this type of market, again, I'm going to keep my risk tight. I'm going to keep my position small, and I want to protect my capital as much as I can. Let's take a look at CC, another one that was on our top watch from last week. And this was basically off a pullback buy. And you guys could see that $15 area is what we said we were looking for it to hold. If we hold that, we start looking for that move back up towards $16.50. And we got exactly that. And even a move up above 17, which was our next resistance area. So again, worth keeping on watch right now. We're getting into the top of that overbought area. So we might need a little bit of a cool off period before we, again, make that next move higher. But just a great trending stock. It's been strong through the whole year, and no reason to take it off. Watch now as we just hit new 52-week highs on that one again. Next, let's take a look at CPPL. Another one we've been watching fairly closely as well, and it's that 20-day moving average. It's finally caught back up to the price here. The RSI is attempting to try to cool off a little bit and get out of that overbought area, but the volume is huge. Something's going on here. We've got some volume coming in. The nice gap on the chart. It's held up well, and over this 1640 area could really lead to an open space to get a pretty decent sized move on that, especially if we start getting some big volume bars like we've seen before. So this one remains on a top watch list until we start breaking below that 20-day moving average or this thing starts trending back down. But for now, it's big volume, it's up, and it's holding up. So the longer it holds up, the more chance it has of continuing higher. So next, let's take a look at EZPW. And we do currently still have a position in this. We actually bought on that nice little doji day right there with a nice big wick on it, and just kind of hanging out above that same area. So we're in the green, not up very much, but we're not upside down on the trade waiting for it to go up. We are up on the trade waiting for it to go higher, and I'll take that position all day long over being upside down on the trade waiting for it to return back to where you bought it. So we'll just watch it into next week and see if we can start getting a move back up towards these prior highs, back up over 11. Next, let's take a look at FH. As you guys know, if you follow me on this, I do have a small bit of a position left, a quarter, but I am looking to possibly rebuy and add some more shares down here as we get closer to that 20-day moving average. I like the decrease in volume on that sell-off, and the RSI's pulled back out of that overbought area. So going to be looking to see if we hold that 20-day moving average. If we do, could give us an opportunity to buy a dip and a move back up towards $4. Let's take a look at GRAM, and we've been watching this one for a while as well. Currently do have a position going in that if you follow us, and it's just finally starting to make its move up over that 850 area that it's kind of been struggling. We attempted to get out of that consolidation here, had a pretty decent volume, but didn't hold on to anything, and now it's kind of made its move up in that area. It's kind of holding up right here. Again, nothing major yet, still just waiting patiently for this to really make its next move up. LTEA is going to go onto our top watch list this week, and just looking, as you can see, we got a close higher than previous close that we've been able to do. You can see the obvious trend here. Looks like it could be putting in a nice attempt at a trend reversal. Good volume, so just going to keep it on watch. See if we get any type of continued momentum in this and that next move higher. The moving averages are starting to curl up in that right direction. We could see that 20 cross above 50 if we do maintain some strength, momentum, and volume continues to come in. You could see the volume, slight little uptick over the previous day, but still a positive sign that could show a little bit more buyers starting to come back in now. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at NXTM. We tweeted this chart out early last week, and we're looking for this to possibly start making maybe a little cup and handle setup right here. And if we get a nice little higher low base off this base right here, that could give us a good risk reward entry, and you get to sell half your position here at resistance and then sell your other half through that resistance breakout. So that's going to set us up really good for next move higher and over that if this cup and handle does develop. But look for the space to form itself first, and then look to see if we start seeing a move back up towards this 25.50 area. Next, let's take a look at ZUMZ, another one that was on the watch list last week. We're just looking to see if we're going to hold above that 22 area. Looks like we dipped low just a little bit last week, but it is still holding up and consolidating pretty nicely up here. So just watch this top area resistance, see if we can get any closes above that area. RSI is cooling off again and moving down out of that to overbought area. So we're just going to keep an eye on some of these stocks that have shown relative strength against the markets. Look for them to cool off a little bit and see if they want to make their next move higher and continue being the relatively strong stocks within a weak market. All right, guys, and that is going to wrap it up for this week's swing trading watch list and market update. If you guys haven't already, please don't forget to hit the like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe so you guys can get updates when we upload future videos. Also, check out the website eatsleeptrade.net. From there you can follow me on Twitter as well as like our Facebook page so you can stay up to date on all the stocks that we are watching and trading. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are watching in this weak market and how you guys are feeling about the sentiment. If you guys have been struggling, having some success, and maybe where you're finding some of that success, and we can help share those ideas and help other people along the way as they try to find their success in the market. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck into next week, and we will see you in the next video.